videos before?
Me.
All right, good. I knew I would have one super fan out there. I'm kidding. Um, as you guys know, reverse prospecting is my baby. I love it. I think it is so underutilized. I feel like if more people used it, we'd have more sales and we'd have better relationships and we'd have happier sellers. And there's just so many ways. And so today I am going to, and I put this little retro thing together because I thought it was kind of funny because if anybody had been to my very first few reverse prospecting, you would know that I had this like old antique phone that I used to pick up and I would hold it by my ear because I really feel like you need to do it old school, but in a new way. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is that the proper way to use reverse prospecting to get your most kind of bang for your buck. Like if you're going to take the time to do it right. That's the same thing with an open house or a, a buyer interview or a listing presentation. It's like polish that up so that it makes you money because we don't want to do things that don't make us money. We all want to do things that are productive, that get you somewhere, that make you better. So let's talk about, because I will tell you, I do think in the last few years, many people have jumped on and are doing better about using reverse prospecting. But I would say 4% are doing it correctly. And I would say 1% are doing it my way. So I feel like it's a great tool, but underutilized and also not done right. So let's go jump right into it. And I'm going to go 101 for a little bit and just show you where do you get into reverse prospecting. So you go to the My Matrix, you go to My Listings, and then once you click on the My Listings, you're going to go to your office on market or your on market listings and click that. And there's active listings and all kinds of things. And then this is the screen you're going to see. And the thing about this is I want to spend a little bit of time about talking about all of the things. Remember, this is a really an Excel spreadsheet. So like you can click on all these buttons right up here and it will move things around for you. So and sort. So please use that. One of the biggest things is when you get in here, make sure you hit this favorite button. This is the most important part right here because I found when they updated this system, it doesn't automatically bring those hearts to the top. So you want to make sure that those hearts all come to the top immediately. So click on that favorite to be able to see that. I went through my office listings and I found this one that had the most hearts. So I thought this is the one I'm going to use, even though it's all the way in Shakopee. Has a really good price point. um, but we're going to talk about some of these numbers and what these and fields mean and how to utilize them. But for sure, you want these favorites and possibilities. Like you want to know people that have already said they love it because all of these agents have people. And actually, if I could scroll because I'm not live, but there was even more hearts. It was crazy. Um, so make sure you're reaching out to these people. In a little bit, I'm going to show you exactly how to reach out to them because don't just click their name and send them an email because that's not going to work. Um, so let's get to the next slide here. All right. So talked about the favorite. Now we're going to talk about the count. Um, after you're done checking out all the favorites and working with those and you've burned through all of that, and now you're like, now what? There is many different ways you can look at this screen and figure out reasons to call. So one of those is the count. And I'm going to shut this door so we can. Um, and so
Lisa, did you
the
say you're doing this live or are these screenshots?
these are screenshots.
Okay, I'm just a little confused because my active live screen looks a little different.
Oh, probably because you're using the old MLS or new MLS system. We're probably using the different system. Do you know which MLS one you're on?
No.
Okay. Well, after the end, if you want, we can share your screen and see uh what yours looks like, okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so but the count should be on there and no matter what screen you're on. And you can click the top and the bottom, and I will tell you the count is it's kind of a big deal. Um, it is how many emails have been sent to this client. And you're going to find ones like, so when you click that button and you bring all the ones that say count, you're going to find one that's sent them one photo, email. Some you're going to find that sent them 4 or 10 or 2084. What that number means is that's how many emails that person has gotten from that agent. So it will tell you that this person on top here has gotten 22 emails. What that says to me, I always say like anything under 50 is a pretty indication that they have a pretty tight area, location, characteristics. They're looking for something pretty specific. Have I sold ones that have had 3,000 different emails sent to them? Absolutely. And I will tell you the reason I feel like this is so important is because the only year I tracked it really closely, I actually correlated 18 sales to reverse prospecting. Would they have found them without me reverse prospecting? Maybe, but 18 of those people I talked to and told them that they should bring their buyers through, or that I was doing an open house, or that their buyers had this saved as a favorite, or there's so many things that I might have talked to them, but I had talked to every single one of those 18 agents through reverse prospecting that purchased the property. Um, so the count with 8, here is just gives me another reason when I've already went through all the favorites. Who else can I call? Because that's the thing is you want to keep talking about it. You want to keep sharing it with people. You want to keep having conversations. You want to keep having things to tell your sellers. You want your sellers to be able to say, "Oh, talked to 14 other agents today that have auto emails set up, and they're just like, wow, that's great. Oh my gosh, you did this. Oh, you did that." You want things to be able to tell your sellers you're doing, because when you tell your sellers you're doing, one, you're earning your commission. Two, you're working for them, and the other agent just that they sold their house with before just put a sign in the yard. You want to tell them, and also you want to know like they're the only ones you're working for. Not really, but like you are that important that I'm working on you every day. And yet you can take a little chunk of time and get a lot of bang for your buck. So the other thing about the count is that I would go through the lower numbers, but also know that the date sent, I didn't do an arrow for this, but the date sent also is a big deal, because as you can see right here, this guy has never been sent it. It came up on his auto email, but he might not have his auto email working on coming right to them. So you might be the first person to call that agent to say, hey, just so you know, they saw this. They have an auto email set up, but they saw this one. Doesn't look like you've ever sent it to them, but they put it as a favorite. Might also be out of their criteria. Like maybe they clicked on it, made it a favorite, even though this is out of their criteria. So you want to make sure that you reach out to that agent and say, hey, I'm doing reverse prospecting. Never seen this before. It says that you've never sent it to them, but they have it saved as a favorite. Maybe it doesn't meet what you have them signed up for, but I'm going to send you an email and show them what you can see which property I'm talking about. So lots of times you're being super informative to that agent as well. The other thing that I do is like office name. I'll click that, and every Dyna agent I'm calling them to make sure. I don't care if they've sent them 5,972 emails. I'm chatting with them just to make sure that didn't slip through their fingers. I'm also gonna go over here, and many times I'll look for area codes that seem like they're out of the area. And if they're out of the area, then they might have, people saved as favorites, but they are like, I can't fit in my schedule to get to show that to them. Well, you could let them know about an open house that's coming up so that they can just send their people through and that you could do business that way. Oh, there's my preferred numbers. Yes, so member numbers, like I always definitely checked those out, and the listing agent. And then when you do click on somebody's name, this is the screen that pops up for you to leave your message. Definitely make a template so that you can just copy and paste and be able to, send out multiple of these very quickly. It already addresses them by name, but the message is what's really important. And even more important than the message, I really think is the subject. Because when we get emails, we get subjects. How many emails do you guys get a day? A lot. And we get reverse prospecting emails all the time, and we don't always click on them and check out who they're talking about, even though you should, because you could bring alive an old buyer that haven't talked to in forever. But lots of times we gloss over, especially we're like, oh yeah, it's just like a bullet point thing. And so what I always did was I changed it to take that part out and I put in, this is the one I called you about, and left the MLS number too. Just in case anything went wrong with the link. Not that I've ever had that happen, but I always just kept the MLS number in there. So, but what happens when I say this phrase? Two things. Because I am calling them right as I'm clicking on there. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it right now. Okay. So I'm going to click on this Melissa and this screen is going to pop up. And then I'm going to type a little thing in here that says, this is the one I called you about. And then I would going to put a little captive message in there that says, like, hey, doing a little reverse prospecting. Your clients have this saved as a favorite. Wanted to let you know I'm having an open house on Saturday. Would love to see them come through and do business with you. Reach out if you have any questions whatsoever. Something just short, catchy, and helpful. So I did short, catchy, and helpful in my message. Because those things are very, very important. We want people to feel like we're always helping them. Then, while I'm doing this, I'm calling 952-412-7581. And what I'm doing before I hit the send button down here is I'm saying, of course, I get a voicemail, always get a voicemail. I'd be like, hey, Melissa, Lisa Nephew with Edina Realty, just giving you a call on a Shakopee listing that I have that you have a buyer that has it saved as a favorite. I just wanted to let you know we're doing an open house this Saturday from 1 to 2. Would love to see your clients come through. I'm also following up with an email really quick so that you can see exactly which clients it is and let them know I'll have it open. Have a great day. Or, hi, I just wanted to let you know you have a property saved as a favorite. I haven't seen you guys come through yet, and we are doing a price reduction tomorrow. So, little preview for you, letting you know that price is going to reduce tomorrow. Hope you can get them in right away. Whatever the reason is that you're reaching out to them. Hey, fellow Edina agent. That's another one. Hey, I noticed that your phone number is a little different and maybe you're out of range. And I just wanted to let you know about this property. I'd be totally willing to show your clients if they are interested. I'm the listing agent for 220 4th Avenue, sending you an email right now. So many different conversations you can have to try to get them. And I will tell you, two things are going to happen when you put this one phrase in here. Is one, they're going to read your email because they don't want to listen to your voicemail. Or two, they're going to listen to your voicemail because they've now just intrigued them that you left them a voicemail from some number they didn't recognize, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, that must be that person. Let me see what they're saying. So the likelihood of your voicemail getting listened to is way higher when you say something like this, and way higher for them to do an open rate when you say something like this. So keywords to remember when you're doing reverse prospecting. And if you're like, oh, Lisa, you've been doing this for so many years, you have all the right language, you know exactly what to say. Well, AI can help you figure out what to say. Lisa can help you figure out what to say. Nate can help you figure out what to say. Or there's this little button up here right next to the address that says a little description. Copy that and throw that into AI and say, help me explain this to somebody so they know why I'm sending them this email. That could be part of your message because some people are like, it's freaking me out. People keep asking me which buyer it is. Well, for one, they should just click on the link when they get the email and it should show them exactly who the buyer is on their end. But some people can't get that far. And you can tell them their reference number, and this reference number, if they go into their auto emails, It'll tell each client that they have what their reference number is. If they have, for some reason, cannot open that link or can't have something happen. Very rarely have I ever heard that happen. But this up here also gives you just a kind of a little description. So maybe a little less phone calls about an explanation. Anybody have questions on any of this?
Great info. Thanks, Lisa.
All right. And then the other thing I wanted to show is like also right here, if you do send these people an email, it's going to keep track of that for you and say, yes, you've emailed. Yes, you emailed. Yes, you emailed. It doesn't happen like instantly. So like it won't show, but it will show the next morning when you go in, you're like, okay, who did I reach out to? Because there might be new hearts that you see and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't email them. I got to email them, So you do sometimes have to check it out regularly to make sure that you are getting to all of those people. And then how can AI help? Because there's always a way to get AI to help us out a little bit and make things a little bit easier. I've already talked about you could use AI to help you with the email, but I wanted to show you a couple other things that you can use AI to use as well. So you come in here. Wouldn't there be great if there's just like a select all button? Well, they don't want to do that because they don't like mass emails and blah, 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 blah. So they don't have us do that. But you can come in here and go, and I will tell you it's easier if you start at the bottom for some reason, but you come up and you click and copy and paste. So you're going to want to click down here and copy and paste all the way up till you get the agent, and all of this is all taken. And then you're going to put it in to Copilot. Copilot is right on your Microsoft screen. So any way you come in to get to your mail or anything like that, you always see what can I help you with. So you just message Copilot, and this is the simple prompt I gave it. I said, help me make an Excel spreadsheet with this list. And then I just pasted the list right in there. I didn't even upload and download and re-upload. I just pasted it in there. And this is what it made me. It made me a complete Excel spreadsheet that I can update, fix. I could change this pre-approved because I don't really care about that to notes. I could put whatever I want in here. I can, and also just so you know, if you're like, I should have added this, or I should have added that, I can easily come in and just say, take this Excel spreadsheet AI and add these fields. Change this cell, whatever you want to say to it, or prioritize this to make sure all Edina agents are on top, or the lowest numbers on top, or whatever you want it to say. The other thing is that I was like, okay, I love this Excel spreadsheet, but I have a lot of agents that are like, I don't understand Excel. It scares me, whatever it is. So, but they're like, but I want to email all these agents. I want to email it to myself and BCC all of these agents, just tell them I'm having an open house because I don't have the time to tell all of these 472 agents that I am having this open house, and I just need to get the word out to them, and so I want to do some kind of bulk email. Well, BCC them so none of them can see each other's email. But I said, can you put all of this together so I can copy and paste emails, addresses to send out a bulk email? Please note, you can also just go to the cell and copy and be able to paste it that way. But if you're just totally overwhelmed with Excel, it made this for me. So it just took and semicolon in between each of the email addresses, and I just took it and copied it and pasted it into an email. And then in that email, because I'm not sending directly and telling them exactly which buyer it is, and it's a mass email, it won't be able to tell them all those things, but it will say like, hey, you have a buyer that I know this fits their parameter. I'd love to see him at our open house. We're having an open house from blah, 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 blah. We respect all relationships with agents, would love to work with you. If you BCC them, everybody's going to think you're sending it just to them. And I always put something catchy, when I'm working with other agents and helping them with their reverse prospecting. I put something catchy where like I'd say, "Hey, super agent," or something like that that just kind of catches their attention, and it feels like I'm talking to them even though it's a mass email. And it's like, what else can we do with this list? It's a great list, and I will tell you, a lot of agents struggle with, I don't have a list. I don't have the people. I don't have a sphere. I don't have this. Well, this is how you start getting a relationship with people. Is I will tell you, it's even made my recruiting easier because I used to do reverse prospecting and they all know my name. They now all know who I am. And I will tell you, I also, when my mom or my sister or my, aunt was writing an offer and there was multiple offers, all of a sudden it was like, oh, this reverse prospecting girl that's always calling me, she now wants to work with me, and I know how hard she works. So I definitely know that she will do whatever she can to get this offer to the closing table. So it even helped me when I was an agent and selling, and with people looking at my offer stand out with other multiple offers. So you could create a VIP top agent list, people you already have relationships with, people you already, and why is that important? Well, because you can invite them to your broker opens. You can invite them to open houses in the local area. You can tell them about a new listing because it's like, oh my gosh, every time I do reverse prospecting in White Bear, this agent keeps coming up. They have lots of buyers in this area. I want them to let them know that this house is going on the market. So I'm going to tell them, house going on the market today. Check it out. Um, you will have a list now that you will have people you can send things to. So really great opportunity. And then you also could be having an open house in White Bear, and those agents that you're constantly looking at, reaching out to through reverse prospecting for houses that are in White Bear, you might invite them to every single one of your White Bear open houses, because why not? The more we can invite, the better it is, or broker opens. So lots of good stuff, lots of information, lots of ideas on how to have those conversations, when to have those conversations, and how to really maximize this use of this tool. Does anybody have any questions or a tip that maybe they're using reverse prospecting for that I didn't cover? I'll take that as a no. Hopefully you guys get using this tool. I will tell you, I have an agent that the first time they used reverse prospecting, they came to me a week later and they're like, "Lisa, it worked. I reverse prospected for one afternoon and the agent wrote an offer and we got it sold." A month later, I said, "Hey, how's reverse prospecting going?" And they said, "I've never used it again." So don't let that be you. Make sure you are utilizing it and working less, because if you do something like this, you can work a lot harder when you're 6 months in on a listing and it's not sold yet. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, thanks a lot, Lisa. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Lisa.
We'll see you soon.